High five.
Thank
I
you.
do spirit fingers on this show.
Oh, spirit
See, she didn't
I
think it
like
was
that.
weird. She knew what was up.
She is a female who is used to spirit fingering other females.
Wait,
you are
what?
basically
Spirit fingering other.
females.
That is not correct.
Not
Have you ever
correct.
spirit fingered another girl?
No, I have not.
You've
Yes,
never
she
spirit
has not.
fingered
I've
another
That's
girl.
never.
right.
Were you a cheerleader?
No.
Oh.
I'm
I've
the first.
only like made out with a girl. That's
Oh,
it.
okay.
Well, there you go.
But that's no like fingering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but you
not
know what?
fingering.
That's a start. It's a gateway
it is a
drug.
start,
It's a
'cause, you
gateway
know-
drug. It's a gateway. Like if I as a guy had made out with another guy, you'd be like, like would you question my
So
heterosexuality?
are you saying you wouldn't spirit finger me to run?
I would listen.
Come on, dude.
I will never spirit finger. Please. Honestly, I'm gonna tase you. Like I will tase you. So
What's up, Kevin ATL? I love you, man.
As we go into Houston, tell us a little about that city because we all hear about Houston, but we don't really know Houston.
Well, you know, Drake talks a lot about Houston. so-
Sure.
Like he talks about the strippers in Houston a lot, right?
No, and just the love that people of Houston have. We're just friendly people. We're very diverse.
Uh-huh.
We're big. You know, we're, I don't know, caring and stuff like that. So to see all this happening and then seeing all our community come together and help each other out. Like I'm seeing like text messages, people with boats saying we'll go help you and
Wow.
stuff like that. Like
Wow.
everyone is literally coming together.
And I
Houston
love
is
the
just-
images in the media now that are going
Yeah.
out of black people helping white people
Exactly,
helping. And I
especially
try
during
to see the
this time.
silver lining in anything. And this is so disastrous, but if one positive thing is
I don't
people
know
are
if I
coming
feel
together.
like this is okay. I don't know if it's okay. Like if I was black and I saw a white guy coming up with like a boat and like offering to help me, I wouldn't go. And they'd be like,
You
why?
wouldn't have a
And
choice.
I would be like, they'd be like, why? And I'd be like, the last time black guys got on a white guy's boat, it didn't work out so well. Jimmy, bitch, ass neighbor. Like I just wouldn't get on the boat, bro. I'd be like your parents.
you
and
know,
not
I
evacuate.
actually can't blame you, dude.
Yo,
I
I'm
can't
just
blame
saying,
you, bro.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying, shit is real in these streets. So when it comes to, did you guys get to check out the VMAs or no?
I did.
I
You
did.
checked it out?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
My favorite part of the VMAs was in Logic's performance, who, by the way, Logic is from DMV,
He's from
DC,
Maryland.
Maryland, Virginia stand up. And he had a really good speech at the end of his performance about equality and bringing people together.
You know
That's what
what's-
life is all about.
You know what's interesting? I've
Preach.
seen so many. Listen, here's my problem with a lot of this stuff. People will say positive things, and instead of saying, hey, I disagree or whatever, I see such a backlash from certain people
Yeah.
about equality. Like, oh, not enough. You guys stop speaking on the. Like, don't worry, everyone. No one's going to make your racism illegal because that's what I hear when people are backlash against anything that's gender equality, anything that's racial equality, any of that stuff. I hear racism. When you start yelling all lives matter to me, it's racist. Now, even if you don't realize it's racist. I would never do that to someone in a time of tragedy, whatever that tragedy may be. It's racist.
You
So-
had a good analogy once. You spoke about like a certain type of cancer support, and it's like going there and saying,
Yeah, like if
Yeah.
it's like breast cancer awareness and someone goes in, but what about testicle cancer? All cancer matters. I said that like 2.5 years ago, and now everyone says it, so it's like not even a thing.
more relevant now, I guess.
But everyone just says it, so it's like not mine anymore. But the concept is clearly that
is the bathrobe still yours, bro?
the bathrobe is. I'm losing that too, man.
Oh,
People are just
man.
rocking the bathrobe left and right. It's
I
actually
don't think anyone's stealing.
really
from
because I
that.
just saw Tiffany Haddish hit the stage in a bathrobe.
You know,
like a
it's-
legit,
Bathrobe, and
not like a
slippers.
silk one.
It was a silky one, but it was
Yeah,
still a
that's
bathrobe.
fashion.
what's interesting too about this, and you're speaking about hidden racism. Now, I went to a party. We were watching the fight, McGregor versus Mayweather, and I
The
was
racial undertones.
I was one of the Mayweather fans, and I actually predicted he'd win in the 10th round,
You did,
which
and
he
you
did.
won a pool. You won
I
some
won
money.
a pool. I wish I
Not-
won a
not
Vegas
real money.
pool.
You won like $20.
Not a real pool, $20. I ended up buying everyone pizza. But what I noticed is I said, who here's with Mayweather? It was just me. And then when I was like, McGregor.
Was everyone black?
No.
I mean, was everyone white?
The majority was white. And when I said McGregor, everyone's like, yeah, McGregor. And when I would ask them why, and it's okay to vote for McGregor, but when I asked them why, people really didn't have an explanation. Then I noticed, I asked other friends on social media, and it seemed polarizing. Like a lot of the people who are white were like automatically going for McGregor.
Sure, a lot of white people went for McGregor's, but I also realized that a lot of haters went for McGregor. And I'll tell you
Haters
why.
went for McGregor.
Because
Yeah.
Mayweather always wins. So there's a whole segment of the population that when someone wins, like Tom Brady, when someone always wins, like the people who hate on LeBron, or they hate on Kobe when Kobe was winning all the time. Like, there's a segment of people that want to undercut those people who are successful. They call it rooting for the underdog. I call it just hating on
But
greatness.
didn't Brady deflate the balls, man?
Listen, whether he deflated the balls or not, someone caught those balls, and they were the same balls the other team used too. So they weren't making those catches.
Nope.
And no one said anything when Peyton Manning was doing the exact same thing. Peyton Manning just didn't win. So Tom Brady has just kept on winning. And my concept is this. It's not about we always hate when the winner wins, because I feel like secretly those people see themselves as the losers, so they're hoping that the loser wins too,
Wow.
because then they live vicariously through that.
Wow.
But
So-
since I see myself as a winner, I want the winners to keep winning, because one day I want to be the person who keeps on winning.
Preach. Mercy, what about you? You're an
also-
actress. When you see your actress friends book roles, how do you feel?
I'm different. I don't really try to compare my path with other people's paths, because what role is for them, I can't get, obviously.
Into the mic. Look.
Into the mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move the mic so you're comfortable that way.
Okay. But yeah, I think also with the Mayweather thing, I think has to do with his arrogance too. So people don't want to support someone that's not really humble, even though McGregor didn't really show that he was humble. But since, previous fights and people already hating on him and how confident he
But
is.
why do people care if he's why does his cockiness or confidence affect other people, and how?
I don't know.
Like, why?
People are
Why do
just-
people
So-
care?
so
like,
I-
what? He's not supposed to like himself so that you
Lindsay.
guys can feel better?
Is Grayson watching? So I looked up this term because this is a term that's been taught to me since I was a child. Okay, humble, be humble, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I actually was very curious about the word because I hear a lot people say, be confident, not cocky, right?
Right.
So I actually looked up the definition
Of humble.
humble, and you know what the definition said?
What?
Giving oneself less significance than actually exists. And I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
wow, you know what? I think we throw out the word humble too
Humble a
much
lot,
because,
yeah.
we're in a world where it's so difficult to live. I mean, bills, competition, even in what soda you're going to buy. The soda companies are competing against each other with the bigger sign in 7-Eleven. I know I shouldn't be drinking soda, but those 2 for $4s, y'all. And it's so hard to try and like maximize your potential because I feel like there's so many
People are
obstacles.
always watching you. People are always judging
Yeah.
you. Like, you can't be too confident. You can't be not too confident. Like, anything you do is wrong.
Yeah.
right
And-
now.
No, you're right. And I always believed in putting your best foot forward. And that's something that that's an ideology I subscribe to at a young age. And I did notice when I put my best foot forward, it does help me kind of move and progress in a greater, fashion. And what I also notice is when I do that, the haters come in. The
Yeah.
haters come knocking at the door, and they seem to have a problem with me wanting to be the best version of me.
I think because they're not moving in the pace that they want to, and they see you progressing and they see you moving forward, and they're like, "What? He's all that. Why am I not doing this?" In their head, and they're like, "Oh, he just thinks he's the shit." But really, you're just trying to be the best version of yourself.
Exactly. And I want to take it all the way back, y'all. I want to take it all the way back to when we were a sperm cell inside of a scrotum, okay? And when we shot through I don't know if you shoot through the scrotum
it-
or the hole, the hole in the thing.
Is it the urethra? No.
Something. Okay, you shoot through, right? And you're in a race to life. And you're competing. Like, look at me. I'm this big hairy man. I was once a teeny weeny sperm cell, okay? And I raced against a lot of little sperms, okay? We were racing at a high speed.
Winning one.
And I made it to the egg, okay?
Exactly.
Like it or not, haters, this big hairy beast made it to the egg before you, non-existing lives that are dead sperm cells. And my thought is, if we were conceived racing, why should we stop racing?
Exactly. I
Why,
like that.
why should we just be so content and so complacent with mediocrity?
I think everyone is just too focused on what everyone else is doing instead of focusing on themselves. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And I feel like if we just were working on ourselves, we wouldn't have time to wonder what you're doing or like bash your success. And
Now, Mercy, as an actress, okay,
Yes.
you're going to be a future household name in Hollywood.
I hope so.
A-lister, okay?
That's the goal.
I want to know the amount of pressure you're feeling now, okay, from your peers who see you trying to, be on a great platform and be the best Mercy you could be. Are you experiencing any type of backlash?
Actually, not right now because I don't really have a lot of friends out in LA, so I don't have friends in LA to,
Well, you have a new friend now,
I
Spirit
do.
Fingers. Yes, so you're
But
not
in
feeling
Houston,
that.
everyone is just watching me and they're like encouraging me, like, "Oh my God, this and that," and they never thought that I would make it. The only thing that I'm struggling with in my career is with my family. That's where the pressure comes from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
Not
your
friends.
family, do they want you to take a different track in life?
Oh yeah, so they're Nigerian. So like I'm pretty much a disgrace right now because I'm not a doctor or a lawyer or anything in the medical field. So
Oh, yeah, well, I'm Middle Eastern, and my cousins, like Kevin, who's watching, okay, he's an engineer. And I would say, I think I have like 17 male cousins,
yeah.
and every single one of them is an engineer. So I was kind of like the outcast in the
Yeah,
family.
same.
But you know what? After a while, it's just more about loving yourself and showing your family like, hey, this is my path.
Yeah.
Even I was watching this documentary on Netflix about lions,
Lions?
and they have like apparently what are they called? They're called the pride, which I think is such a cool term. So
pride.
the lions move in a pride, like wolves move in a pack. Lions move in a pride, and they were showing that there's always that one like baby lion who leaves the pride, and he's like forever terminated from not to put you down, Mercy, but it could be worse.
No, they're trying to support me. They're just worried because in their head, like I'm 25 years old, I should be married, have my career, have a degree, but I have none of those things. So,
Well, good news, you're in Hollywood, and most
woot.
people at 25 ain't doing no marriage. They're doing
True.
swiping on the social media,
yep. Bumble,
So-
Tinder.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And but the takeaway here is you can't really compare. Sometimes, think about it like this: our parents are from, like you and I both. Our parents are from a different region,
Right.
and from a different generation. And as important it is to show them love and make our families proud, I have to preach something, and that's called self-love. Self-love. You begin alone as a little sperm cell, and sadly, one day you're going to live for a very long time.
Amen.
But you die alone too, Don't say amen to dying alone, okay? I want a few cats in my puppy Choco. But and when you get to the end of your path, you realize that, I paved this path, I walked this path for myself.
True.
And
it makes it all worth it once you make it.
yeah, and I'm a firm believer and preacher that the ultimate thing here in life, this journey in life, we never really know what it is. We have so many experiences, we have so many ups and downs. But at the end of the day, I look at it as a path we pave for ourselves, and you could love people on the way. You could do little pit stops, back in desert times, my ancestors were traveling through deserts.
Sand
Probably
skiing.
sand skiing,
Exactly.
yes. Or camel skiing. Okay, they could have camel
Camel
skiing.
skiing, okay.
That sounds a lot more entertaining, right?
Yeah. Poor
And
camel.
sounds more fancy than hump riding, riding the hump.
Hump
But,
riding.
they would go along the way, and this is where the term hospitality came about, is like, you can't make it across the desert on your own. So along the way, you do a stop, and people would take you into their tent and have food and drinks. You'd enjoy
you
some
out.
fellowship. But once you're done, you don't stay in that tent. You keep sand skiing. You keep camel skiing. And I want everybody listening out there to know the ambassador of positive energy and self-help now, I guess. And my man, Martin, oh my gosh, I dropped my phone, who does such a great job doing this. That we're in this to maximize our own potentials. And I want to say on air, Mercy, I am so proud of you. You are
Thank
a brave
you.
soul. Look at Mercy. She's out here alone,
All by
making a name
myself.
for herself. And I know that there's going to be many struggles around the way. Trust me, I went through them. And, I promise you it will be all worth it in the end, because you're going to wake up one morning and you're going to say, this thing called life, I lived it to its fullest potential for myself. Welcome back, Tehran.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had to take a phone call real quick. That was actually a popping phone call. Shout out to Yara Shahidi from Blackish, has a show called College-ish, and now working on some other projects. Who knows? Maybe some projects are in the work with the one and only Tehran.
Oh, snap.
Black and Persian connection. Anyway, you guys were talking about something deep. It sounded like it was like,
deep.
Yeah.
And it had to do with haters. And basically what I was saying is we start as...
Yeah, no, I didn't want to hear. I didn't care. I was just saying it sounded like you guys were talking about
So
something.
that's an example of the people you want to stay away from.
No, I just
on this path
What? No,
called
there's
life.
a difference between a hater and someone that just doesn't care. And here's the thing. I understand.
Hater.
Here's the thing. On the outside,
Mercy.
on the outside, it looks like I don't care, but deep down inside, George, I don't give a fuck. Listen, I don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, you don't give a... If you didn't give a F, then why would you be disappointed?
I was disappointed in not smashing G-Wagon, bro. Like I was gonna have a G-Wagon and she was just gonna pay for everything. It's like my own. That's why I want Oprah. Yo, even the lady. Did we ever talk about the $750 million Powerball winner?
We didn't. I want to talk
Did that
about
happen after? Is that just last Wednesday? Because I feel like it's been a whole lifetime since that lady won $750 million.
See how the media works? It's like that story, which was so huge, is now so small.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
And I hope
compared to Houston,
I hope Houston doesn't get so small because they need our help. There's a lot of
everywhere needs our help,
I
bro.
see
Pray
a
for
lot of-
everyone. You know what? Pray for everyone. Like literally,
But
pray for
right
me.
now, Houston needs
Yeah,
help.
Sure.
And there's a lot of if you look online, go to the accredited charities where right now there's even one for the animals. I'm going to donate to that one. I'm going to help the dogs. There's a lot of dogs that got left behind. They're just
True.
tied to a pole because realistically the people had to survive. I wouldn't leave Chaco behind, but I'm gonna help some of them dogs.
Yo, I wouldn't leave Chaco behind either because if we ran out of food, bye Chaco, hot dogs.
Stay the hell away from my dog.
Yo, what I'm saying is this though, Joel Osteen wasn't helping, and he's got that mega church in Houston.
Oh my God.
And he finally came around, but in the
Yeah.
beginning he wasn't helping or
hold
opening it up.
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate, or should I say the pastor's advocate.
Sure.
I did see another video, and I'm just asking. Mercy just gave me the dirtiest look in the world, where his church was flooded.
No, he actually just opened it up, so that's not.
Yeah,
that
he
can't be a thing.
released I think it was the Twitter saying that he now is open up.
Yeah, but like the day of or whatever, when
There was also another video of someone that went to the church and recorded to see because of the other video to see if there was water in the church, but there wasn't any.
there
water.
wasn't.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
there was a video of me telling him if he doesn't want to pray for the people in Houston and they're drowning, maybe he should pray for me because I'm drowning in debt. So if you can just, Joel Osteen, if you can help me out, nigga.
After you help me, Tehran.
Yeah.
But there's another there's another public figure, King Quran, who was
Who called him out
now
for it.
I've met him in LA, but is he from
the
Houston?
Instagram
He is
guy?
from
He's from Houston, yeah. And he was
Yeah.
speaking against it and saying, this isn't about money. The people of Houston
Yeah.
give you money, so now you
Yeah,
need to give
But
them
at the same
refuge.
time, would you want people in your house though that you don't know?
But it's church. It's for the community.
It's church, it's
and
for his
we
members.
tithe. We give offering. We spend money.
Have you ever
to-
spent money on Joel Osteen's church?
No, because I don't believe in Lakewood. No offense. You know what I mean? I just think it's a big.
So why
gimmick.
why should he now believe in you? You never.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that people are calling him out because he was such a big impact in that area. Like when Lakewood first came to Houston or whatever, and they just preach all this message and you donate so much money, and it's literally like a big concert every Sunday. So they put so much money in production, and now they're saying that all our offerings and our tithes that we give, and now you're not opening up the church that we helped, build for the citizens that are suffering. That's the problem.
At
That's
the
a
same
valid
time,
point.
let's play the advocate. It is a private establishment. And they're asking, why is this private establishment not opening? Are they worried about the other churches not opening? Or are they just mad about his church? Is his church the-
because it's bigger. It
Sure.
is
And
huge.
it's
And
pretty
it has
affluent, right? It's
Yeah.
probably the highest netting.
church.
I'd
He
assume
has TV
church
show,
in-
everything.
Listen, he's
internationally.
banked. Let's not take away there's one argument that say Joel Osteen is a crook. I get it. There's also another one where let's say it is a business. Are we upset at Coca-Cola for not opening their plant. Like it's a business, right? We're looking at this church, it's like it's a business, and we're saying, hey, we give Coca-Cola all this money, or Walmart. Should Walmart have just opened its doors? Now, I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I'm under the impression that he should have, being that it's his word to help people and others, he should have been helpful. But
and this is what it goes back to.
we're expecting a lot out of a private citizen.
It goes back to we hear the phrase "do the right thing," right? But what's never attached to it is the word "at the right time." So I'm seeing this as a timing thing now. Now Joel Osteen has opened up his bars, has opened up his church. He's now kind of, people are saying, giving in to the pressure, or maybe change his mind. Just like when Trump spoke against all of the violence things that are going on, but then he said on many levels, and he didn't directly address the KKK and the neo-Nazis.
I don't think that's the same.
Until a day later.
Joel Osteen,
and a day later he came out and did it. Now, are we to say that Trump was okay in his statement? Are we to say Joel Osteen is okay with giving in?
Joel Osteen's message is one of love and help, and then he's not being loving, helping. Trump's always been racist. He started off like this. He's like, day one, hey guys, huge. I'm running for president. Mexicans are rapists. Start just like doing it. And you're like,
so what you're saying is there's like a higher level of expectation here.
I mean,
or is there a social obligation, seeing that he's clergy?
I mean, I think both of these guys are just wrong. I don't know, Mercy.
I just think it's just the way that he perceived, his whole message. Like, it's church. Like, you come to church to get help. Like, my church.
I don't know if church help Muslims. Yeah, what if they were like, no Muslims or Jews allowed?
Well, you have your own church.
But do right?
Oh, so the Muslims need to go and sink in a mosque. They don't have a mega. They don't have an Akbar Osteen in Houston.
In all fairness, though, I think like religious institutions, from what I've seen, they do cater to helping their immediate congregation or community.
But they do help everyone. Mm-hmm. They do. They don't like not help Muslims or Jewish people.
Personally, I blame the Jews. Anyone else? No?
Not me.
Not
Hello,
me
Hollywood. Definitely not me. I love the Jews.
Yeah. Well, your dad's a pastor. Would your dad open his church?
I think he would. My father, but seeing his background, my father was a headmaster at an orphanage. Okay. So
he's like a giving, caring.
He's a giving, caring person. And he's given me all the money he's had, which is...
Because you know what? If I was like a head pastor... Hell no, I would. Listen.
Like, no, Tron, okay, you're a comedian. I want you to give me an honest answer now. If this was your church, without the jokes, would you open it up?
Okay, here's the thing. It's easy for me to say yes because I have nothing, okay? I have nothing. However, I don't even let people in my apartment, like I'm like, yo, use the bathroom at Greenblatt's. Like,
I tried to walk towards his kitchen and he hissed at me once. It's like, stay in the living room.
No, that's because that's not your domain. You understand?
But let's say you have a church in a community with people that you know and that you're familiar with and you know their lives and stuff like that, and they needed a place to stay. Would you let them in your church?
How nice is my church?
I mean, you tell us. It's your church.
See what I mean? Like it
doesn't even have to be
nice.
Here's the thing. It just
I would, because once again, I'm not in that position. We always look at a lot of things when we're not in positions to do them or affect them, and we're like, why didn't that guy just catch the ball? Why didn't he just dunk it? Why didn't he just... I would never do that with money. We always love judging when we're not in that situation. So to me, it's like a concept of, I don't think what Joel Osteen did was correct. But then again, I'm also not in his position. I don't know if it's purely his personal decision. It's not like he's the owner. I'm sure there's a board of some type that has to make these decisions. I don't know. We always love just making things and glorifying them and sensationalizing them without knowing all the facts. So while I can sit here and just say, I judge Joel Osteen for this, this, and this, which is easy for me because I don't have anything. Like, it's easy for me to give up stuff because I don't have... It's like people are like, if I had $500 million, I'd give you $1 million. I'd give you $1 million. But then we don't have $500 million. So when we find out about a person who does, and then they're very like stingy, we're like, oh, see, they have all this money and they don't do anything because we're not in that position. That's what I'm saying. So it's easy. It's easy to always judge others for actions. And we say things like, you should walk Well, walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Well, it's not just walking a mile in someone else's shoes because you still have your legs and your feet, right? It's walking a mile in their shoes with their legs and their feet and their experiences of learning how to walk. And then tell us what you'll do. Because I realize a lot of people, given a bad situation, turn out badly. You know how I know? Walmart on Black Friday. Nobody, what happened? Like all those people are like, Joel Osteen should open up the church. Yo, they're going around stabbing people for $12 off something. A curler they don't even need. So when it snows, in America, I've seen people judge other countries for like acting the way they do, and then it snows. I remember it used to snow in DC and people would fight over water. I'd be like, this is worse. You guys actually, we have water here. They don't even have water and they're fighting. We have water and we're like literally fighting over bottles of water to be more comfortable. So I don't know.
I guess it's just based on character then. Like, I feel like your character doesn't change in any situation that you're put in. Like,
That's a Tehran concept, actually. My character does not change no matter what the situation.
That was really intuitive, and it's hard, especially when resources are scarce or when you face an obstacle.
yeah.
To like when people say they have their morals or moral standing, like you said, it's not really standing until it's tested.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not. So
And-
let's test Mercy's moral standing.
All right, how do we do that?
How?
Wait, okay. Mercy, what is a hard no for you? A hard no.
A hard no.
Yeah.
About what?
About anything. Let's go with, I don't know, sex. Let's start off sexually. Like, would you do anal?
I would consider anal.
Okay.
But right now, no.
Okay, what about for $100,000?
Wow.
Uh-oh, what happened to the hard no?
I mean, $100,000 does sound really good.
See what I mean? Like, yo,
But-
there's money. Well, we got to understand money makes a difference.
True, but that's not based on my character.
Sure. I mean, okay, so what, okay. Would you ever punch your mom in the face?
No.
$1 million.
No.
George?
I'd give her like a Mayweather uppercut.
Yo, for $1 million, I would knock her out, knock her up. I would like, listen. I would just, yo, what do you mean?
At a
Knock
piss
her
wreck.
down? I would just like, yo.
Your mother?
Yo, okay.
No, honestly, I wouldn't punch my mom's.
Like,
No,
I would punch
no
my
way.
sister.
No way.
Your mom's the sweetest.
Yeah, I wouldn't punch my mom.
For $1 million, I would punch every single person in your family and your dad's church. You do know that, right? Like you would have to stop me.
What bothered me is like there was this one meme. It's like, would you hit your friend with a car for $50,000?
Nah, it was more than 50,000.
It was like 500,000. It could have been 50,000. No, it said 500,000, and then Tehran writes for 50,000, and gave a whole paragraph of horrific things he would do to me.
No, I would just
Oh
run George
my
over with the
God.
gun. Listen, here's the thing. I have a question for both of you, though. Real talk, okay? And we haven't done a what if in a long time, so let's play a
Yes,
little what if.
It is time for What
What
If
if there
on
was a
Imperfect
button?
Gentleman Show.
You push this button, okay? You push this button, and 20,000 people die, okay? But you
That's
get
a-
$20 million. However, if you do not push this button, 50,000 people die, and you get nothing. Do you push the button or not? Martin's a fucking psychopath. He's like, of course. But no,
Is
I'm
there a
serious.
third option?
These are the
There's
two
no third
options.
option.
You push the button, 20,000 people die, but you get $20 million. You don't push the button, I'm going to up the stakes. You don't push the button, 200,000 people die, and you get nothing. Do you push the button and you are directly responsible with the responsibility of being responsible for the death of 20,000 people and know that you get $20 million? Or do you do nothing and 200,000 people lose their lives?
I mean, I would say I wouldn't press the button. That's how I'm feeling now.
So
but
200,000 people die, George.
I didn't kill them.
So basically what you're saying is, think about what you're saying.
Because like,
You're
how
s-
can I live with myself?
But that's what, so how selfish are you that you are only thinking of how your
Yo,
conscience
can
can
you
be
tone it down?
before
Tone
the
it down,
lives of
Jerome.
200,000. But that's the
kind to
question.
our
But I
guests.
get money with it. So like, what am I supposed to do with
Yeah,
that
but
money?
That's the concept. The concept is you happen to get money with it. But now because of your morals, quote unquote, you would rather 200,000 people die and you sleep well.
I mean, obviously I still wouldn't sleep well, but if I were to take the money and also still killing people,
And that's a form of selfishness on its own. I don't know, George. What would you do?
I would absolutely press a button. And that's what being the president of the United States can feel like at times. And I aspire everyone, by the way, I am running for president. I'm just trying to up my celebrity first. And then I'm not saying I agree with Trump, but his path of celebrity then president, I'm going to follow that same path because I'm not a politician. I want to have a positive impact on the world. And Tehran, who I'd want to be my VP, I can't ask because he'd want to be president.
No,
he would
I would be VP.
Me.
I would be VP.
You would do it?
Tehran
Of course, and I would assassinate you and then ascend
my
without
gosh.
being voted in. Here's my question to you.
No, seriously.
And then
If you
become
and
dictator.
I ran for a presidential campaign, do you know that we could do very well? We could do very well.
We can't even get listeners to our fucking show, bro. I'm poor. We can't do shit. Here's my question to you, though. What if the 20,000 people and $20 million versus the 200,000? Now let's up it a little. One of the people that dies is your mom. And since you would push the button, one of the people who dies in the 20,000 is your mom. And since you wouldn't, one of the people who dies in the 200,000 is your mom. Let's have that conversation. So now do you push the button? Mercy, super principal, moral Ojo?
So is my mom in both options?
No. In his option, his mom is one of the 20,000 people because he would push the button. And in your option, she is not. She is in the 200,000.
Okay, I'm selfish. No, I will not push the button.
So you would let your mom.
I would push the button.
So your mom.
If my mom was in.
So you would save your mom, and all of a sudden, all those. So that's what I mean. When it comes to moral obligation, it comes down to this gray area that we always try to think everything is black and white, but life is so gray, and there's so many variables that affect every single decision that we often forget when we judge others. We don't know what the hell is going on through their head and what situation. We only see the outcome. So when people used to judge Justin Bieber for being, when he was 19 and like sucking strippers' titties and prostitutes' buttholes and all that and speeding and stuff, dog, I wasn't 19 with $100 million and 100 million fans. I don't know how I would act. I know how I act now, and I don't have a millionth of that, and I'm a piece of shit. So I think, yeah, at $100 million and 19 years old, I would have been a bigger piece of shit than he was.
This reminds me what you're saying and your perspective of a philosophy course I took at University of Maryland. And what they presented to us was...
I have a question. Is the University of Maryland sponsoring us?
No, they're not.
Okay, then you know what? We're
but
never
the alumni
saying the
group may help me one day in my presidential candidacy.
You know what's funny? The alumni group, now that you mentioned it, the alumni group is now going to be like, hi, Mr. Curry. We see that you're an alumni of Maryland. Can you please send us some money? Because the money that you are trying to pay back for your loans is not enough.
Or they'll say, can you please separate us from your brand? Because you talk about anal thanks to Tehran on your show. And in the course, they basically said, okay, kill a baby or euthanize a 3-year-old dog. And what they got to is that the 3-year-old dog's brain was more developed than the baby's.
Oh, wow.
So you had to use your philosophical standpoint through this on
that's
life.
Crazy. Yep.
And it was really tough.
Yep. And you know what? And if it was me, I'd kill both. But here's the thing about that. Like, yo, what? The baby's going to grow up and now I have to deal with traffic? Huh? And he's probably going to walk the dog while I'm trying to go and make a right. And then he's walking all slow in West Hollywood like they all do. No. The concept is, clearly you killed the dog, right? You killed the dog. Is it an easy decision? No, it's not. However, it is a decision. And the faster you make the decision, the better off the world is. And that's one thing we have to understand, that the world is put in peril at all times. And the government makes these decisions for better or for worse. And sometimes they're selfish, like Mercy is. However, they make these decisions. And the decision shouldn't be based on emotion. It should really be based on logic. And that's the concept of the law. The law is one size fits all because it cannot account for every single contingency. It has to see what's the best overallness for all incumbent and in the situation. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're at. So I'm glad that Mercy's not president. I'm glad that George is running for president.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that I will then assassinate George and become the president myself.
As long as you help me get there, I will accept the assassination.
Yo,
because I'll die a legend.
When I was a kid, I would love.
No, like that. I'm serious about this. We're gonna talk more about this after the show.
It's a legacy. It's a whole legacy. No, 100%. It's a way to be immortal. Like, I don't know.
No, I'm not serious about you killing me. I'm serious about us running.
Okay, I'm not running for president. I'm not running for president.
Why?
And I'll tell you why. Because You know how they do this?
Background check?
Not they go like this. They go like this. They go President Obama or like Bill Clinton. Do you remember the whole Bill Clinton smoked pot? Now you got to understand something about Bill Clinton smoking pot. At the time, he did not allegedly inhale. There were only 5 people in a circle and they passed around one blunt. 30 years later, they all snitched on this nigga when he ran for president just to ruin his campaign career. Do you know what's going to happen to me? Do you know how many freaking people are going to come out of the woodworks?
But
you know
you've never smoked weed in your life.
I've never smoked weed, but I've also fucked over. Listen, just at the Laugh Factory alone. Listen, I can't even. I don't even want to have this conversation. Like, yo, I could never run for president.
You can't.
Do you know how many things would just come out like 5 people? President Obama one time was at a party. No one even, all black guys look alike, right? He might or might not have taken a sniff of cocaine one time. 40 years later, they bring this up and know exactly who got the cocaine where and what. Yo, my life is done.
You know
I sold Obama the cocaine.
What's scary about this is think about the future presidents and the generation growing up. Like,
Instagram.
Everything's on video and it's backlogged into archives. You know, it's all there.
Dog, backlog. Do you remember when you were a kid and people would have a joke and they'd be like, your mom's a hoe? And then you'd be like, my mom's not a hoe, your mom's a hoe. Now, in the future, the kids will be like, no, your mom's really a hoe. Look, I saw her twerk video right there. Look at this hoe twerk.
That's true.
Like, it's real. Like, do you understand all those world star hoes are all going to have children? And their children are going to be able to see. Like, we don't know the shit our parents did. We don't know even if they did doggy. Now, there's a whole generation that'll know, yes, mommy did. Like, yo, that's real shit.
True.
Every tweet, every single post, everything goes on somewhere, and we keep it.
Okay, I get it.
I'm never running for shit.
president.
And I don't know why you think you're running any means. Yeah, Mr. George Corey's clean, but nigga, you forget I know you from DC, bro. I know who you are.
I got a pink jacket on now, bro.
Listen, I know the real you. I don't know the pink jacket you. I know the bubble vest any means bouncer you. You understand? I know the dropping album you. I know the exactly. I don't want to go on what I know,
Please
but
don't.
I know him.
But you know,
I know. There's no but.
I erased my old Facebook account.
Yeah, but you didn't erase all these old memories.
Nigga,
I have memories. You
And
understand?
you'll be the first one to vilify me in the media. I'll be running and be like, "No, well, my name's Tron Bogrossi. Let me tell you more about George Corey."
Let me tell you about the real George Corey. Hey, what's up, Miss Johnson? Did we forget about Miss Johnson and how you smashed your friend's mom at 16?
Allegedly.
What?
Allegedly.
Miss
Calling
Johnson.
you out.
Allegedly.
Would you ever run for president, Mercy?
No, obviously, because I don't think I have the personality I don't know. I just don't have what it takes to become president.
Huh. Do you think that, okay, so we were going to talk, and the reason we are talking to Mercy about breasts is she does have bigger breasts. Do you think that, what she does? Like we joke about, but it's like, this is real, right? Do you think people don't take you as seriously because you have big breasts? Like guys or even girls?
Seriously, and like what?
If you were doing have you felt that people judge you to act a certain way or be a certain type of person because you have big breasts? And I'll tell you why. I saw a girl one time and her body was only designed for cum. Like there's nothing. She just looked like someone.
What does that mean?
She was just.
What does that mean?
She had like she had these breasts and this ass.
Designed
and
for.
Hey, I'm calling it as it is. And then she turned out to be a dentist, and I was just like, I don't know if that's a plausible profession for you. Like, that's not a thing because I couldn't.
Please save yourself.
I'm being real. Actually, you know who else? Remember Jamila from the mall? And she's got these big breasts and she's a doctor.
Mean Jessica from the mall?
No, Jamila.
No,
and then,
Jessica.
No, Jamila.
No, Jessica.
No, her name's Jamila. She's on. I have her on.
No, you're not going to
talk to her. Like
you're not going to further disclose her identity. We're not getting sued here, Tehran.
Anyway, Jamila, this Egyptian girl, we met at the mall and we met her parents and everything. And she's the nicest girl, sweetest girl. She's a doctor. She has these really big breasts and a nice body.
Can you just?
And she gets like passed over in for assignments all the time because of how she looks. So I want to know from someone who actually is in a position like this, do you feel like that happens to you, or it has, or you can see how it could?
I can see how it could because of, obviously your mindset that her body was made for cum, because like that's all y'all see, but y'all don't see. Like,
when you say y'all, this isn't just guys. Girls see the same thing. Girls are just as
that's
big of
'cause
haters
girls are-
as guys.
Isn't me? I see the eyes first, and I read the character through the expression in the eyes, not just the eyes
really?
themselves.
I didn't even know she had
Yeah.
eyes for like
Do I
12
really?
months.
Martin Turan, does George really? Please.
George does, but any means didn't. That's all I'm saying.
We put it out there and you can see it. Unfortunately, it does hold us back sometimes.
Sure.
But I know a lot of girls that don't mind it and they use it to get what they want. So I guess it goes.
But isn't that a positive reaffirmation of that misogynistic concept? It's like, so I'm not saying that the girls shouldn't. What I'm saying is the girls that do, aren't they reinforcing and making it harder for the girls who don't?
Yes, I agree.
And that's a concept. And we don't discuss these things a lot. We don't discuss how on one end, for example, we are shamed for hitting on girls. And at the other end, we're biologically created to hit on girls. Like there needs to be some kind of discussion about this. We are created to seek out breasts, and then now we're not supposed to look at breasts.
I think the problem is a balance, because at the same argument, humans alike, and there's also homosexuality. So women can be designed in the same fashion to pursue a man or a woman as with men. And it's all about, in a civilized society now, we're not speaking about ancestral times. We're talking about in modern civilization with all the research that has gone on and all the progression that has gone on. It's about, again, bringing back to an earlier topic, equality, fairness. Okay, so if someone has a certain physical appearance, such as Jessica, the dentist, okay, with large breasts.
No, Jamila was a doctor. She was a regular doctor.
Oh, okay.
She wanted to be a surgeon. She actually was
Jessica,
trying to be a surgeon.
the doctor, does her breasts or presentation of her breasts discredit her brain or scholarship or academia?
You're correct, but we saw that with Melania Trump when she simply had an accent and all of a sudden she was discredited for being stupid. Mm-hmm. And we see that often. If you see a girl who's dressed in a certain manner, would you take her as seriously if she was in a position of power? I'll give you an example. Let's make it a male. If your mother, God forbid, had to have surgery and the doctor that came in was dressed like Master P in the No Limit days, gold tooth, gold chain, backwards hat, and was talking like him and was like, make him say, like everything, would you allow him to perform the surgery?
Are his diplomas hanging on the wall, and is he Google searchable?
Have you ever seen...
Google matters, y'all.
Google does matter.
But let's say, even if so, would you feel as comfortable as if a gentleman came out with slightly peppered hair, dressed in a strictly soft and firm demeanor?
That sounds like a rapist. So yes, I would go with the first option.
Strictly soft and firm demeanor sounds like a rape. Who raped you, bro? Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
I would go with the. I'm
like,
not.
Remember George Clooney from ER? That guy comes out. That guy comes out and he's like, "Hi, I'm your mother's doctor." Or Master P comes out and is like, "Yo, what up? I'm here to perform some of that surgery shit on your moms."
I know my mother would probably be attracted to Clooney, so I'd like do her a solid and let Clooney do it, but not for the same reasons you're discussing. I always am look at my best friend. Look at it, camera. Look at him. Look at this guy in a bathrobe. Okay, that man is my financial advisor, my legal advisor. No. Look at him. He's in a bathrobe.
I'm not your financial advisor. Do not. I'm your after ruining.
Yeah.
Corrector. There's a difference.
Corrector. I was never one to judge on appearance. I judge on credibility. I judge on character.
But are you the norm or the outlier?
I would say I'm the outlier, and I do think, and I spoke about this with Tehran. This is something real that happened. Vice was covering a lot of the protests that were happening in Charlottesville, and for once, they overexposed the other side, which is the neo-Nazis. You don't see. I can't remember how many times I turned on the media, right, and I saw neo-Nazis or KKK. I see more of minorities being criminals in the news. That's literally more of what I see. Although statistically, you'll see that it's not like that. It's disproportionate. And they showed men, a large amount of them had shaved heads. They were bulkier and they had t-shirts and they had this fierce look to them, beards. And I was walking to my car. Around the corner, and I was walking my cute little baby Chaco, who I love so much, Chaco the Chico on Instagram. And I took a corner real fast and I looked up and this guy was right in my face. And the guy had a shaved head, white male, kind of bulky, black t-shirt. And for 1 millisecond, I connected what I saw on the Vice News coverage with him. And I felt this sudden sense of fear. Like, is that a white supremacist? And I then was like, holy crap. And I never saw the reverse, but the media has such a big part in racial profiling and how we perceive other people. And I'm like, oh my God, I now for the first time understood why, as a Middle Eastern man, people might have viewed me as a certain way because of the media coverage. And I'm like, holy crap. And yes, I am the outlier. And I believe that my perspective needs to be shared a little more in the media, a little more in the mainstream, so we can have more of an understanding of who and what people really are.
Right. I think it just goes back to like stereotypes too. Like that, I feel like that is what causes people to make decisions because of what they've seen or what they've been told, but not actually knowing just because this person looks this way or acts this way or is this skin color that they're like, they all act that way, I guess. You know.
Yeah.
So do you feel like people with big breasts are considered not as smart?
I mean, I've heard it before that, you know, but.
Well, I think what it's reminding me of, and I think I'm trying to think of like past references, the whole like, what you're reminding me of now, Teron, is like the blonde bimbo kind of
that's the
theory, you know, and usually when I think of blonde bimbo, that term they used to throw out there, which is a terrible term, I think of what they used to show on TV, and they still cast as that character. And it's usually a prettier, upkept woman with larger breasts. I mean, that's what is projected.
I feel like the stereotype with big boobs is that they're like sluts.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing it. And that's what I mean. Of course,
Yeah.
that's a real stereotype. And I would be concerned as if I was a female with big breasts, you know, I would be concerned.
And you see a lot of, and I don't know if it's related. I know it's related to back pain too, but now like I have seen a lot of women with larger breasts go
Breast
get
reduction.
reductions.
Yeah, which to me is the worst thing. It's a tragedy. It's
I
a
wanted
travesty.
to when I was like younger because there were.
Did you feel uncomfortable?
Why did you want
as
to?
like a younger
Just
lady?
because I couldn't wear certain clothing because they would always be out. I mean, now I don't care, but before, like, I couldn't wear tank tops or low cut V, you know, necks or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like the fashion industry discriminates against people.
Yeah,
I wear a size
exactly.
14 shoe. Why can I only shop at Nordstrom Rack? I wanted the new J's when I was a kid, and I had to wear the Shacks from Payless. Well, we were poor, but still, the Shacks only came in the 14, not the J's. Sorry, I just went on a little ramp.
Mercy, when you were younger, let's talk about that because that's something that's not talked about or spoken of as well, is the adolescent time when you're a teenager. Having big breasts, did that affect your high school? Like, were guys on you because you had big breasts and then they were picking on you more earlier because you had bigger breasts? Or
No, because I was like fat with big breasts, but the girls would call me like slut or a hoe because they were always out, but like I couldn't help it.
See?
Pretty much.
And did that like make you not trust girls later? Because I mean, every little thing adds up, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I just, when girls compliment me, like sometimes I don't take it to heart because maybe it's just like, oh, she thinks she's pretty or this and that. Because, you know, we're pretty catty. It's always a competition, and I feel like guys put us to compete against each other.
It's unfair, and Teron's raising some really big issues and concerns of mine that even in these early stages in school, the woman's body is being so over-sexualized.
Especially
Yeah.
now.
It's ridiculous. And I do recall in middle school, it started as early as middle school, where if a girl had large breasts or a big butt, I'm thinking about friends in the past, she was completely harassed. And on the flip side, the women who were not big breasted or didn't have big butts were made fun of.
That's
And it's like, you know,
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
fortunately for men, or unfortunately for some, like they weren't judged by how big their thing was just walking around, because it wasn't something they could instantly.
But it's something
see.
that we talk about. Like we still have that competition, right? And it's still a concern.
But y'all could lie to each other.
Yeah, I mean, most guys
Right?
probably do, you know? And the concept of it is, it's like you being yourself, and someone looks at you and it's like, you can't wear this, you can't wear that. I saw this note where it was like, if you're concerned about what a girl's wearing, then maybe the problem is you sexualizing her and not her just existing. And I was like, that makes a good point. And then again, if I had a daughter, I'm joining ISIS. I'm making them cover it. Listen, I'm not like, it's just I don't know.
Oh my gosh. No, you're not. He didn't mean that, everyone.
Homeland Security.
But what you just said, now I do my words of the week on every show. We're coming towards the end, so I want to share my words of the week. But Tehran just said something. Maybe the issue is you, if that's what if you're seeing a problem in something.
Yeah.
Now, usually the words of the week are written by me. There's probably one other writer who I'll ever even quote.
Oh my God, just get to the point.
And
of
that's
these
our boy
words.
Prince EA, who's a phenomenal spirit and soul in person. And what he just posted today, and I loved it so much. Shout out to you, Prince EA. Thank you for being you. He wrote, "You can tell a lot about a person by what they choose to see in you."
Oh wow. That's deep. I always
deep.
said you can tell
I
a
like
lot
that.
about a person through anal, but the way you said it is a little better. Like, and I meant girl, like you could tell, like the way
Tehran, please
I'm just saying,
let the words be words.
I can't be Prince TA. Like you can't.
No, there's a reason why you can't.
Can I live, bro?
And that's the reason.
Okay. Well, that's the show. Make sure to check us out each and every Tuesday, 1 p.m. live on Dash, of course, XM. You can catch us on iTunes.
Look up Imperfect Gentleman Show on iTunes. We're a hot trending show there. Watch us live on Facebook. Martin does a great job on the feed, facebook.com/Imperfect G Show. Tweet us, Instagram us, Imperfect G Show. And if you would like to send an email for a topic suggestion, imperfectshow@gmail.com. Of course, you could watch this show uploaded to youtube.com/Imperfect Gentleman with an E, not an A. Play on Prince EA. Ha ha ha. Check us out. Thank you for the drop.
And of course, we appreciate the love and always appreciate the support. Feel free to donate. We don't have a donate thing, but we will because we need it.
And we're going to give 50% to Houston.
I'm not giving.
Well, I'm giving my share to Houston.
Well, how about we share the love and say goodbye to our lovely guests?
Thank you guys for having me.
Mercy, where can they find you?
At MERSAY, Mercy.